In this concept, we're going to talk about types of lines. And we introduced lines in the previous concept. We introduced the concept of a line, or the idea of a line, right, is that it's made of an infinite number of points stacked together in a single dimension, okay, with zero thickness, because the thickness is only 1 point across, right? And we said that you can't really define how thick a single point is, but you can define how long infinitely many points are, and that's why we get a line, okay? So we talked about all this. Now, a simple type of line is a line segment, which is part of a line that has two endpoints and all points in between. So there are rigid start and end points, or you could say two endpoints. I mean, there's no start and end really. There are two endpoints because there's no concept of direction here, right? This line starts at point A, or has endpoints at point A and point B. Okay, represented by this symbol, AB, with just a line with no arrows on top of it. So this has infinitely many points between points A and B, but points A and B are where the line ends. Okay, the spatial extent of line AB is confined between points A and B. Okay, now the next type of line is a ray. Now a ray has one endpoint and all the points on one side of the line. So let's say this ray is going in this direction, right? It has an endpoint at point A, and it has all the lines on this side all the way to infinity, right? Or, well, you know, negative infinity if you're going the other way, right? If we're going to talk in positive and negative directions. But in general, again, one endpoint and all the points on one side of it. In this case, it's on this side. Okay. So again, infinitely many points, but they don't stop. They start here. Again, don't want to talk about a start, but this is the end point. But then here, the points extend all the way out infinitely. This ray is represented by the symbol AB with an arrow on top, line with a single arrow. And when naming rays, you start from the endpoint, right? So you name it AB, not BA, okay? So starting from A and then going towards B and passing it. Opposite rays. Now, opposite rays are two rays that form a line and share the same endpoint. So here we have rays FE, F, or actually let's just do it down here, FE, and rays FG, FG, they share the same endpoint F, okay? But one goes this way and the other goes this way, so now I have a long line that has no end, okay, no endpoints. Well, because they share the same endpoints, so they're becoming a single entity with no endpoints. Okay, this side extends all the way to infinity, and this side also extends all the way to infinity, or negative infinity, you know, the other side. Okay, the next idea is the intersection of two or more lines. So the intersection of lines is the set of points where the lines meet. So if we had two lines, they intersect at a point, right? If we had lines here M and L, and they exist somehow, somewhere in space, okay, then they have to intersect at a single point, unless they were parallel, but that's another concept to be discussed. Okay, if they're parallel, they have no intersection. But if they're not parallel, even if they don't seem to intersect, like even if they're like this, slightly parallel, at some point in space, they will intersect at a point, okay? And they will just keep going. All right? So in the figure above, lines L and M intersect at point A. Okay. And here we have some exercises. Please pause the video, work on these, and come back for the solutions. Okay. Name the following segment. So we talked about line segments, and for line segments, it's not really critical which side to start with. You can name it JK, right? Or KJ, you know, but convention is typically to start from the left. But again, it's not too critical. Okay. For rays, however, we did mention that it's customary to start from the endpoint and then use the other point that's on the, you know, the side of the endpoint where the ray is extending to infinity. Okay, so in this case, it's customary to say MN, ray MN. Okay, and then draw the arrow on top as shown. Okay, oops. All right. Okay, and this is it for this concept. See you in the next video.